Here's Phil to tell you more.
What are you talking about? No, we didn't. Someone just said, anniversary of having Casino as friends, we almost made a year. Dude, it ended in March. It's August. That was 5 months ago. Technically, it didn't even, it lasted just like half a year, if that. And the whole time they were faking anyway. Everyone knows they were faking. It seems like the only people who were convinced were their viewers. Like, my viewers weren't fooled. I wasn't fooled. They obviously weren't really my friends. It was only their viewers who were fooled by any of this. Well, that's the thing, Bookworm. He says the Kino fans were really fickle, weren't they? The truth is that I think their fans are... They're the kind of people that they just want... They want to go where the drama is. Okay? They do. They want to go where the drama is. If I were a drama creator and I split with the Casino but I kept making drama, some of them probably would have stuck around and kept watching my stuff, honestly. But I'm not. I'm a gamer. I'm a gaming content creator. That's who I want to be. They don't want to just chill and have a good time. A few of them do. A few of the people who are watching me and stuck around are Casino viewers, but many of them made new accounts and things so that people don't know that it's really them. You know, so, I don't want people holding it against me that I watch Phil because now, you know, he's not with Casino anymore. But for the most part, you're right. The vast majority of people who watched them and came to check out my stuff and said, oh, I actually really genuinely like Phil's stuff and everything. I like the gaming. I like the chill vibes. The moment that I said, that's it, I'm done with them. Oh, well, fuck Phil. And they all just disappeared, right? Take a look at the people on the top of the Kick leaderboards. The all-time gifters, they're all gone. They all just left or turned on me simply because I said, I'm not doing drama content with the Casino. I refuse. So... that's what I mean. Like, if I did do drama content, but just did it on my own without them, and we had a split, I think that a lot of them might have stayed, but that's what they're there for. They didn't come for chill vibing gameplay and stuff like that, so they're not going to stick around after I'm not doing that kind of content anymore, you see? No, see, here's the thing. Tuna Boat says, well, you banned a lot of them. No. They came on my streams completely insulting me, insulting my viewers, saying my content was terrible. They purposely came and trolled and broke all the rules to get banned. It wasn't, I just one day said, oh, just ban everyone who likes Kino Casino. That's not what happened. In fact, it was the opposite. I said, you guys are still welcome to stay. I want you guys to stay. But many of them just immediately turned on me because I said, I don't want to work with the Casino anymore, you know, because of the drama shit. Again, it's just sad, like, a lot of those people can't really think for themselves, because I feel like if they would think for themselves, maybe some of them would have stuck around and checked out my stuff longer term, but they just do what they're told. They're basically like really gullible people. They just do exactly what they're told. So if the Casino says, oh, fuck Phil now because he's not doing stuff with us anymore and he screwed us and he owes us an apology and all that bullshit, they just listen. They don't think for themselves or anything. They don't listen to a word I say. They just immediately, okay, well, that's what he said, so that's what we gotta do. Well, it's a simpleton's mindset to not have independent thought. It's kind of sad that they're just this, like, really weird groupthink mentality, very sheepish. That's probably some of the reason why so many of them watched and supported me for those few months anyway. Because they were told to, not because they actually checked out my stuff and liked it, but, oh, well, if Kino Casino says that Phil's good, then that means he's good, so we gotta go watch and support him, right? Drama sells. Overall, drama does make a lot of money, and usually drama content creators these days are very successful. The problem with drama content creation is that you have to go all the way into it. You can't just dip your toe in and say, okay, I've decided against it. If you do it, that's it. That's you forever. Because you are now wrapped up with all of these parties who are doing awful things, saying awful things. Skeletons come pouring out of the closet with these people, right? And now you're associated with that group. So you either have to go all in, this is it, this is what I'm gonna do, or not. Me, I'm sorry. I have a wife, and I have a life, and I'm not a 20-year-old guy who's willing to just go all in and say, all right, my whole life will be drama. No, I've had enough. In fact, I'm at the point in my life I want less drama. I've already been there, done that. I want to take a step back with drama, and every once in a while, maybe dip my toe in there for time to time for silliness, but that's not who I want to be, okay? I tell you right now, if I did it full time and I got into full-time feuds with RTU and full-time feuds with LTG and even the casino and all that, I would get way more views, I would make way more money, and I would get way more attention. Other people would pick me up because they would react to my content, and that's how that's how the engine works, right? The whole react cycle on the internet. But that's not who I want to be. I want to chill. I want to enjoy games. I want to have fun times. I want to have good social interactions with you guys. I don't want my entire existence to be crapping on someone, being toxic, because then, I hate to say it, what comes around goes around, right? So just because you're on top of the world today doesn't mean you're going to be on top of the world in 2 months, in 2 years, and boom, it comes back to bite you, right? So I don't want to live that life. Right now, Kino Casino is doing well, but when's the next person going to be exposed who's their viewer who's a pedophile or who's a groomer or one of their skeletons falls out of their closet and now the whole world has to see it and everyone's going to talk about it because, hey, aren't Kino Casino those guys that make fun of everyone else? Well, now it's time to point the finger at them. You know, like exactly what happened with Review Tech, how he always made fun of me and then all of a sudden he was the one being made fun of way more than me. So I don't want to be a part of that. I don't. I want to do my own thing. All I want to do is make gameplay footage, chill with you guys, have great discussions, interactions, and just be in my own little spot and don't poke the hornet's nest. I don't want to fuck with anyone. I don't want anyone to fuck with me. Of course, people will still fuck with me because they are degenerate, low-life scum who think that that's a way to get ahead in life. It's not. It's fucked up. It's immoral. And I don't want to be a part of it. Yeah, did you know I didn't know that? So Worski, Andy Worski, or Andy, whatever his real name is, because I actually forgot what his real last name is. I didn't know that was him who went viral for the aim thing. I knew of that meme when it happened, but I didn't know who it was. And I had no idea that when I started going on their show and collabing with them that he was the aim meme guy. I had no clue. I only found that out much later. I found that out much later because, remember, during the time when I was working with those guys, there was a big scandal where one of their biggest whales, who apparently had paid for their entire trip to Vegas and basically really whaled out and just, you know, really weird, bizarre behavior that they would pay for a whole trip to Vegas and shit like that. Again, weird shit, right? So apparently that person then got outed as like a pedophile or something. So then they had to hide and lie low. Instead of addressing the allegations, they just basically ignore it all for some reason. And so during that time, a lot of stuff was coming out that was being said about Andy. And he sent me a documentary about him. He was like, if you want the answers about all this, watch this documentary. It covers it really well. So I watched it, but I inadvertently learned while watching the documentary that he was the aim guy, which I didn't know. And then I found out, like, basically he was kind of a meme and a lolcow, you know, way earlier on. And then he turned, you know, he basically took all of that, got off drugs, which, by the way, if he really is off drugs, I have no clue. People used to ask me all these questions. Is he really off drugs and everything? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what he was like when he was on the drugs. So I couldn't tell you if he was different during the time frame that I was, you know, doing stuff with him or not. But good for him if he actually is off drugs, if he really is sober. That's a huge accomplishment. That's really tough to do. And he should get some kudos for that and some respect for that. But yeah, like I don't know. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know that he'd been involved with memes and lolcow shit beforehand. I mean, same thing with like Ashton. I didn't know that he had been involved with all kinds of fucked up stuff before Kino Casino. So basically, when I started working with Kino Casino, there were two groups of people. One group of people said, Phil, don't work with Kino Casino because they're going to stake you, which I kind of knew from day one because everyone warned me. But the other group was, oh no, you don't want to associate with Kino Casino because aren't you aware of all the shit that they've done? You know, the Worski, you know, memes and fucking Ashton and the accusations with him and the fucking chocolate starfish shit. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't care what I was like, whatever. Means to an end for me. I knew I wasn't going to stay hanging out with those guys and doing shit with them forever anyway. And I knew as long as I didn't go too deep into it, I'd be fine. Did I get spammed with the Ashton picture? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I saw it. I don't want to see it. But I mean, at one point, all my trolls were feeding me all the detractor shit about them. So I didn't want to know any of it, and I tried to tune it out. But how do you avoid it? When literally, you got like 100, 200 people spamming you these pictures and fucking memes and shit like, what is this? I don't want to see this gross shit. King Ferb says, why didn't you take the trip to Florida? Because you knew you were going to snake them at that point. Again, I've explained it, but no one listens to me, okay? So here's the deal. I know the entire time that this is just me working with them temporarily. I don't want to do anything long-term with them, but it's working, right? I'm getting a boost in popularity and all of that. And then come you know, January-ish, I've noticed that we're not really doing stuff anymore. And so I would ask every once in a while, hey, are you going to put me on the show, or do you want to do something together? And that's when we were planning Smart Guys and all of that stuff, right? And I can't remember if we had started Smart Guys or whatever it was. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, PPP drops in the middle of the night a DM saying that about going down to Hogan's Bar in Florida and all of that. And this is just weird. It's not even like saying, hey, do you think maybe we could at some point meet in real life and hang out and do something? This is like flying. He's going to pay for a flight, expensive. Hotel, expensive. To go out and hang out and drink at Hogan's Bar, right? Now, again, I have to preface this. He didn't say, hey, I want to fly you and your family out for a paid vacation and we'll spend some time together to meet during it. He said, I want to fly you out to Hogan's Bar so we can hang out and drink together. That's weird. Sorry. That's completely weird, especially because I had already told him my life situation, that, you know, stuff was going personally with me and my wife and stuff, and I wanted to spend more time with her, and I didn't get to spend enough time with her. So what made him think that I was going to all of a sudden say, yeah, sure, let's just cancel any kind of stuff that I have going on with my own life and my family here to go fly to Hogan's Bar and spend time with you, right? It was just freaking bizarre. And so the first response I had back to him was, I hope that you don't get offended, but I have to decline. No, you know, my wife and I don't spend enough time together. We got stuff going on here. So then he did exactly what I thought he would do. Then he changed the offer because he realized that what he had done was pretty bizarre. And he said, oh, well then, in that case, well, I'll fly you and your wife down here and we'll all stay at the same hotel and blah, blah, blah. But that wasn't the first offer. The first offer was he just wanted to fly me out to fucking be bros, right? And that's, I'm sorry, I'm a married dude. I'm 43 years old. Let me put it this way. If Ashton had said, I want to fly to Seattle, I'm going to do some stuff in Seattle. Maybe Andy and I are going to do some shit in Seattle, have a fan meetup in Seattle. But you come and you hang out with us while we're there, and we meet and we spend some time together and we meet the fans, then I would have maybe been like, okay, maybe that sounds all right. That's business related, but also we can meet, maybe be friendly in person, something like that, right? That sounds way better than, I want to pay your way to fly you across the country to Florida. Literally the furthest possible distance you can fly in the United States from where you live. So it's the longest flight, the most expensive flight possible, for you to just go to a bar with me and drink at Hulk Hogan's bar. And by the way, can I ask an honest question? What's the fucking obsession with Hulk Hogan? I don't have one, all right? That's a detractor meme. Oh, Phil wants to pull the Hogans, and I roll with it. It's funny, right? I'll pull the Hogans. I wasn't in love with Hulk Hogan, all right? I wasn't. When I was a kid, I saw him as like a hero figure because I was a kid. Then when I realized that wrestling wasn't real, I stopped idolizing Hulk Hogan. That was a long time ago. I don't talk about the guy. I don't think about the guy. It's a meme. It's a funny thing to reference because my detractors bring it up because they're fucking obsessed idiots. But it's not real. I have absolutely zero desire to meet Hulk Hogan. Now he's gone and I never can meet him in person. I did see him wrestle in person, for the record. I went to a SmackDown where he wrestled. That was kind of cool. But I had no desire to go meet the guy at his bar. I don't care. It was a fucking really, really weird-ass request. Really weird. Again, out of the blue, too. It wasn't like we had been talking about shit like that. He's out of nowhere. He said, I want to do it. So then, when I turned him down the first time, and then he says, oh, well, I'll fly you and your wife out there. And I turned him down the second time, right? I said, no, I just don't want to do this. Like, dude, I'm trying to explain to him in a way that he doesn't get offended. That, like, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, don't spend insane amounts of money trying to fly me somewhere. Like, we're not friends like that. You know what I mean? But he didn't, like, get it, I don't think. And then later on, now, you know, because we're not doing stuff anymore, then he goes, Oh, I was trying to fly his whole family out for a vacation and stuff. What are you talking about? That was never a discussion. The discussion was you wanted to drink with me at Hogan's Bar. And then on top of that, you tried to cover for it when I said, nah, it's a little weird. Oh, well, I'll fly your wife out and you can stay at the hotel and everything together. Why would my wife want to fly to Florida with me to go to Hulk Hogan's Bar? What are you talking about? If my wife and I want to fly somewhere, we're going to fly somewhere we want to go for a vacation. We'll go to Europe or Japan or so, who knows, somewhere, I don't know. But not fucking Florida, Hulk Hogan's Bar. It's the last place we would go on Earth if we had a choice of where to go for a vacation. It's just so bizarre. Again, it's so weird. It doesn't make any sense. But that's what I mean, like, but it's weird for me to not want to do that? No, that is weird. That's just as weird as a whale of yours saying, I want to pay for your entire vacation to Las Vegas. Right now, if you guys want to support my stream, please do. If you want to come by and drop subs and send me tips and contribute via the ways that you say this is because of I like your content and I want you to succeed in life. Thank you. If right now someone contacted me and said, hey, can I fly you out to some place to hang out with me in Vegas and do this? I say, no, that's bizarre. That's really fucking weird. I don't want that. I don't want that level of personal relationship or interaction with the viewer. I have a life. I have a wife. That's who I want to spend time with. Sorry. And I get it. Some viewers, they get so attached, right? They want to... That's just weird as shit to me. But, again, I don't think that Ashton gets that. I think Ashton doesn't have that level of comprehension in his head. It doesn't click with him mentally. He doesn't get that at all. He doesn't understand it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. I don't... And like, what King Ferbs is saying is, well, why didn't you just milk them anyway? Because I don't want to go to fucking Florida and hang out at Hogan's Bar. What don't you get, right? What was I going to do? Well, I'll meet you, but only if you fly me to Europe. And I happen to go on a crazy train trip across Europe. Well, guess what? I don't want to spend it at that time with fucking Ashton. I want to be with my wife. So, so no. None of that made any sense at all, right?
He's such a pompous, arrogant fucking douchebag. And he talks down to his audience and acts like they're children. And it's like, buddy, you should be very, very grateful for what you have. And you're not really in any position to lecture anybody about anything, Phil. You're a fucking e-bagging bum, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hint, hint.
so,
Hint, hint.
so,
Hint, hint.